Greetings from Back to the Movies. I hope you're all having a great Kwanzaa. It is the end of 2013. We're going to talk about a few movies we've seen and do our best and worst list of the year. So, this is Kate, as you all know.
Yeah, we didn't do the intro.
I think I'm going to start off with The Hobbit.
Okay.
I saw The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug. And pretty much whatever I thought about the last Hobbit, I thought about this one. Very fun movie. A little too long. Has some subplots. Could have been cut out. Not enough Gandalf in this one. He kind of goes on his own adventure and you kind of forget about him. Yeah, pretty much decent film. I actually liked Benedict Cumberbatch for the first time.
Cumberbatch?
Yeah. After he ruined my life with Star Trek Into Darkness. I think because I didn't have to see his stupid fucking face. And his voice, they altered it so it didn't sound like him.
Where are you? Come now. Don't be shy. Step into the light.
Big issue with it, people were saying that Kate from Lost was going to ruin the movie because she wasn't in the books. She was actually fine. What really slowed the movie down for me, and this is going to sound weird, was Legolas, Orlando Bloom's character.
I don't know any of these, so.
I know, I'm just letting you know. Okay. That's why I said Orlando Bloom's character.
Yeah.
Loved him in the original trilogy. He's in this because his dad is in it, and I'm like, alright, that's fine. Little cameo. That works. But then they kept saying there was a love triangle. If his dad didn't say Orlando Bloom was in love with Kate, I would have no idea. He just looks like a robot the whole movie.
Legolas has grown very fond of you. Do not give him hope where there is none.
The dragon scene was really good with Smaug and Bilbo, but it kept cutting to Orlando Bloom in the village shooting people with his arrows, and it's like we have 3 movies of that already. Why are we cutting away to see something we've already seen? So there are issues with it. I thought it was more enjoyable than the first one. Of course, it had a goddamn sudden ending because, we had to drag this out into 3 movies. But still a fun time at the theater. I would say wait till DVD, so that way you can be doing stuff while it's on because it's long as shit. But yeah, so Hobbit, liked it. I still hate that brown wizard, but there was less of it.
I saw Saving Mr. Banks in theaters.
And I know nothing about Mary Poppins, so this should be fun.
I actually don't like Mary Poppins.
I maybe watched it when I was a kid.
I maybe saw it maybe 3 times as a child.
My knowledge of Mary Poppins, there's a YouTube video where they recut Mary Poppins to look like a horror movie, and it's fucking terrifying. That's all I know.
That could totally be, yeah.
That's all I know.
Mr. Banks, even though it's a Disney movie and it's rated PG, I wouldn't recommend taking your children to it because it's not really a children's movie. It's not.
I guess, yeah.
It's not inappropriate for them, but it's they probably would be bored because it's an autobiographical kind of story.
It looked like that movie Johnny Depp did years ago, Finding Neverland, about the guy
it's similar to that. It's
that
basically Emma Thompson is hilariously miserable as P.L. Travers. It's great, and just to see you get a lot. Colin Farrell's in it, and he is a.
Who's Colin Farrell playing? I didn't see him in the
her
preview.
real her father.
Oh, okay.
For those who don't know, Saving Mr. Banks. Mr. Banks is the name of the father in Mary Poppins.
Okay.
Because I had to look it. I was like, who the frick is Mr. Banks person? So we looked it up, and it's based off P.L. Travers' real father, who's played by Colin Farrell, who is an Irish national treasure. So. It was great.
He was great in Daredevil, anyway.
Yeah.
So what, did they try to cut the character out of the movie? Because I know the movie's about, the changes they made from her book or whatever.
It's about her. She goes to, Walt Disney's been trying to get the rights to her book for 20 years, because his daughters really wanted it.
Yeah.
And she keeps saying no. She's like, no, Mary Poppins is mine. I don't want to give it up, but she's ran out of money, so she has nothing. Like, she needs the money, so she goes to California, and they have meetings, and she's with the creative team, and the creative team thinks that Disney already owns the rights, but this whole entire time, she still hasn't signed the contract. So she's, like, at one point she goes to Disney, she doesn't want the color red in the film at all. And she, just to be, like, a ball buster, and he's like, okay, there will be no red. And the other one was like, what? Like, no one's not ever given Disney, like, what do you want? And he's, like, now, like, trying to jump through hoops. But then you start to, like, peel away, and you find out the reason why she's so reluctant to give up Mary Poppins, and it has to do with her father, and she has to let go of her father. So it turns more into, like, an emotional piece than actual. But she's brilliant. The only thing is, I love Tom Hanks, don't get me wrong.
I was going to say, how was he as Walt Disney?
For me, he doesn't look like Walt Disney to me, so, like, I'm just like,
I don't know, I kind of saw it. They at least dressed him up enough to
Yeah.
look like Walt Disney. Did they mention how much he didn't like Jews?
No.
So was the movie good? Would you recommend it?
I definitely would recommend it.
Okay, so there you go. Saving Mr. Banks. Man, we're just plowing through them here.
Yeah.
Alright, now we both saw a movie, separately, but we both saw it. American Hustle by David O. Russell. Famous, crazy, crybaby little bitch, but happens to make really good movies.
I'm trying to help you figure out your fucking picture. Hey, bitch, I'm not here to be fucking yelled at. I worked on this fucking thing for 3 fucking years, not to have some fucking cunt yell at me in front of the fucking crew when I'm trying to fucking help you, bitch.
So, I really like this director, even though he's an asshole, and this is probably my favorite movie of his so far.
I don't know. Silver Linings Playbook.
I didn't see Silver Linings Playbook.
Don't say that until you see that.
We live in Philadelphia, and I had too many Eagles fans jerking off about the movie, so I'm waiting until the hype dies down. But The Fighter, I like The Fighter.
Yeah,
I think I saw I Heart Huckabees. I think he did that. No, that was him, wasn't it?
Yelling? Do I not fucking yell at you before right now? No. I never fucking yelled at you, you fucking say.
I love the title
Yeah,
card that said, some of this happened,
Yeah.
so whatever. It starts off with Christian Bale doing his
That is the best
amazing
opening sequence I've seen.
It's 3 minutes of him
It's
just
3
doing a
minutes of him
comb
just
over.
he had the glue, he had the
Yeah.
piece,
And then in the next scene, Bradley Cooper just...
yeah, and you could tell he thought he looked good. He was like, yes.
He plays a guy, he's a con artist. He meets up with Amy Adams, who looked horrifying in this. I don't know.
wouldn't go that far.
Her skin was freaking me out. She looked like too tan at times. But anyway, he teams up with her and they like scam people. She pretends to be British. They get caught by Bradley Cooper and he decides to use them to entrap like all these congressmen and eventually the mafia.
But the way they said, and even Christian Bale's character, what is his name?
I forget all their names. We're gonna just call them their actors.
Irving.
Okay.
Because I remember just Jennifer Lawrence going, Irving! What Irving says to Bradley Cooper, who I believe his name was Rick, it was like, you're trapping, like, he's getting these politicians that are actually trying to do good things, but they're using corrupt money, and he's like, you're not getting, like, the people that are actually doing corrupt things.
Yeah.
Like, Bradley Cooper's character gets so obsessed with getting the bad guys, or, like, in his...
He's basically getting people, like, he's manipulating people into doing bad things.
Yeah, but they're taking the money for good things. It's not like they're taking the money for themselves.
Yeah, they pretty much tricked him into thinking, like, whatever they want to do, like, the mayor really wants to rebuild Atlantic City, and it's impossible for him to do that, And they pretty much just, like, work him like, this is the only way. I know it's technically illegal, but it's the only way you can do it. And it's just like, you're basically creating criminals just to capture them.
And, like, he wants to rebuild Atlantic City for New Jersey to create jobs, like, for all these good things, and they're just like, take the money.
Yeah, and the Sheik.
The Sheik, who does roofing and siding.
Yeah, and then the other Sheik, which was an FBI agent
who was
Mexican. Like, who was like from Tucson or something. Louis C.K. did a great performance in it.
He was pretty funny.
I kind of wish he had a little bigger performance.
I kind of wish we found out the end of the fishing story. We never find the end.
There's a running gag.
What annoyed me. What was the end?
There's a running gag with the fishing story. Like, he's trying to make like a symbolism for Bradley Cooper, and Bradley Cooper keeps guessing the end of the story, and Louis C.K. just gets angry and just won't tell him the end of the story.
That's not it.
And your brother died. No, he died years later. But yeah, Louis C.K. was amazing. I love that scene where Bradley Cooper beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, and then you just see they're in like the dissertation of it.
Yeah.
He's got like an eye patch on.
He called me and he yelled at me. Jennifer Lawrence was this was a compliment because she was supposed to be. She was so fucking annoying. I wanted to punch her so much.
And you know that I would never say anything bad about your father in front of you, but your father is a sick son of a bitch.
Daddy's a sick son of a bitch.
Don't repeat that. But yes.
She played Rosalind, who is the wife of Irving, even though Irving's with Amy Adams' character, Lady Edith.
Yeah. Her, technically Cindy, right?
Yeah, like Cindy.
Sandy or Cindy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about it because like this is like a 70s heist film. There's mob related. Usually in all these movies, like the guys are like cheating on their wives just because they're so powerful and they're like, oh,
they have the best
but I gotta keep my wife in line even though I'm cheating because I'm a man. It's really like any Scorsese movie. Mm-hmm. What I liked about this one was basically Christian Bale was just so open. He's all like, I don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
You're blackmailing me. I'm just gonna cheat on you because you won't leave. You can leave at any time.
Because no one's ever been divorced in her family.
I know. And then she eventually starts hooking up with the mobster, who I think might be like the burn face guy from Berwick Empire. He is. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't watch that show, but I recognize his face. She starts dating him, and Christian Bale like doesn't really care
until he tries to kill him.
Until that guy tries to kill him. That's the only time he gets mad.
Let's just talk about every time you see Rosalind, Jennifer Lawrence's character, is that she just blew up or set something on fire.
She just like lit something on fire, blew something, she's got a neck brace on.
It takes like about a good half hour till you see her.
Yeah, she kind of comes out of nowhere.
And you come in and he goes back to his house, and it's the first time you kind of realize that he probably has a wife.
Yeah.
It's the first time you realize. And he goes into his son's room and he goes, Mommy set the house on fire. And she's like, what? She sat too long under a sun lamp.
Yeah.
And her face is burned. And then the next time they get like a science oven, which is a microwave.
Yeah.
And
Don't put metal in it.
She throws metal and it blows up.
She has a scene where she just goes nuts and she's singing that James Bond song.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. As she's wearing gloves and the kid's just sitting there.
I know, Christian Bale was really, like, he adopted this kid. It was, like, a kid from her first marriage.
Some kid she had.
Just some kid that she had. He like, that's what's, like, he could leave at any time. Yeah. He has enough money, but, like, he really cares about this kid.
She was hilarious.
But, yeah, I think my favorite part of the movie is when they're all dressed up and they're ready to meet the mob guys. And then, like, the light blows out, causes all this smoke, and then Bradley Cooper and Amy Adams come out. I like that they all look like normal people, too. Like, because again, with these 70 movies,
they weren't overly done.
Well, that's the thing. Like, with the 70s movies, they're like, you know, all the mob movies, they already look nice. Mm-hmm. This movie, like, you see them doing their hair. Like, Bradley Cooper's got curls in his hair.
His hair.
You wouldn't show that in any other movie. You'd leave that out, but he's got curls in his hair.
Like, and Jennifer Lawrence talks about how she fries her hair. And
yeah.
I think it's easy for me to get my hair like this.
I was kind of confused how she knew. I mean, I guess she knew Cindy. I don't know.
I think she knew of her.
Yeah, and she's like, I know who you are. And I'm like, was it established that she knew? That part kind of confused me. I didn't know if it was established she knew who she was.
I think she always kind of knew that Irving had a girlfriend, but I don't think she ever, like, I think it was the first time she saw her.
Yeah. But yeah, Jennifer Lawrence, I mean, I guess she's, like, clamoring for another Oscar because she was, like, over the top in this one.
I don't know if that was the reason. I think she played the characters.
I know, but it almost was like a little too comical at times. I don't know.
What bothered me, like, I don't understand why Hawkeye doesn't get enough credit. He was really good in this movie.
He was really good. I liked him in everything.
I believe that you should treat people the way that you want to be treated. Didn't Jesus say that? Yeah, right. Also, always take a favor over money. I think Jesus said that as well.
But I don't know if he said the second one, but he might have said the first one.
But, like, you know, Bradley Cooper nomination, I understand. Yeah. He was crazy as this guy FBI agent. Yeah. Christian Bale, I don't know if he got nominated. I think he got nominated for a Golden Globe. I don't think he got nominated for a SAG, but don't quote me on that. This was probably. I really enjoyed Christian Bale. I'm not a huge Christian Bale fan.
I always enjoy Christian Bale, for 3 reasons. But, yeah, he was amazing in this.
Amy Adams, I don't know why everyone's so crazy about it.
No, I do like Amy Adams. Lately, though, I think...
She's in everything, though.
I know, because, like, in Superman, she's kind of blah. And
that's not her fault.
It wasn't really her fault. But then in this one, I don't know what it was. Her skin looked weird.
I didn't think her skin looked weird. That wasn't what I had an issue with.
Like, she looked too brown in parts, and I know she's, like, pale in real life, so... I don't know. She just looked odd to me. Normally a very beautiful girl. Not that looks matter. But it was distracting. Like, she looked sickly or something.
I just didn't think, like, she was... Like, people are praising her performance, and I think out of the whole entire cast, she was the lead... Like, she was kind of lackluster for me.
Yeah, especially since she's doing, like, a really fake accent the whole time. Like, I'm telling you, Louis C.K. really shined for me.
Because it's something that you would never expect Louis C.K. to do.
The last movie I saw him do a cameo in was Role Models. He's the cop who calls Paul Rudd a faggot. That was, like, the last
But, like, that's
movie.
something you would... Yeah, but this is, like, I didn't even know... And should we talk about the spoiler cameo that I didn't even know was going to
yeah. I mean, I think people might have expected. Robert De Niro shows up for...
all of 5 minutes.
Yeah, like, one scene.
He's like...
But in that scene, they have a flashback to another scene, so he might have had 2 days of filming. He's like the Miami mob guy.
I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, did you guys know? I turned to my brother with my brother. I'm like, did you know?
He kind of looks like an evil version of the guy from Up, because he had
because he has the thick glasses.
He had the faded hair. He had like the faded hair with the comb over, and
he had the thick black.
Speaking of comb over, Christian Bale kind of looked like one of Roger's characters from American Dad. Roger has a character as an alcoholic, and he has the same comb over.
And the belly, he really stuck out that belly.
Well, he always changes his body like a lot. He goes from thin to built to fat. He'll do it all.
He wasn't necessarily in good shape, and he had this comb over that was rather elaborate.
I highly recommend it. You will not be disappointed by American Hustle.
It was really good. It was funny.
Yes.
It's gotta be the best we've ever done.